Taiwan and its surrounding islands, situated in East Asia at the northwestern edge of the Pacific, possess an endless variety of terrains, forests, agricultural products, and marine ecologies, as well as a diversity of ethnic cultures along with enchanting human customs and practices. Here are some common, as well as lesser-known interesting facts about Taiwan. There used to be a land bridge between Taiwan and China. Although Taiwan is an island today, lower sea levels during the last ice age resulted in a land bridge across the 180 kilometers Taiwan Strait. The first human to reach Taiwan likely crossed this land bridge some 20 to 30,000 years ago. The ancestors of today's Taiwanese Aboriginal people likely came later by boat, around 6,500 years ago. Taiwan is thus at the edge of the continental shelf, which drops steeply of its east coast. The Taiwan Strait is shallow, with an average depth of only 60 meters, and has several islands, including the Penghu archipelago. Did you know that the indigenous people of Easter Island, Hawaii, Fiji, New Zealand, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Madagascar can all be traced back to Taiwan? Language and ethnographic studies show that the Austronesian people sailed out in canoes from Taiwan, starting around 3,500 years ago. Today, they constitute the world's largest and most widely distributed language family. There are currently 16 officially recognized Aboriginal tribes in Taiwan. They make up 2.38% of the country's population. Their highest populations are in Hualien and Taitung counties. China, which considers Taiwan one of its provinces, classifies Taiwanese Aboriginals collectively as Gaoshan, High Mountains, and considers them one of its 56 ethnic minorities. Taiwan is considered to have the highest concentration of high mountains of any island in the world. In fact, 2/3 of the island is covered in mountains. Even though Taiwan is subtropical, the peaks of these mountains receive snow in winter. A commonly cited fact about Taiwan is that it has 268 mountains above 3,000 meters. For comparison's sake, Honshu, the main island of Japan, has 19, whole Colorado State has 119. The deadliest one killed over 3,000 people in 1935, while the second worst took 2,415 lives in 1999. The 9/21 Earthquake Museum in Taichung is housed in a destroyed school that sits right on the same fault line that the earthquake occurred on. Built on the site of a junior high school that was destroyed by the 7.6 magnitude earthquake on September 21, 1999, the museum incorporates damaged classroom buildings and geological effects of the earthquake into the exhibits. These preserved elements provide the ultimate classroom for learning about seismology and engineering. Further, they remind the visitor of the immense power of earthquakes and why the way we choose to build matters. Kung Yujin, born in Taipei in 2006, is the 80th generation descendant of Confucius. His father, Kung Suichong, the 79th descendant, is an important figure in the country, serving as senior advisor to the president of the country. To put that in perspective, Confucius was born around 550 years before Jesus Christ and over 1,000 years before Muhammad. Confucius was from Tsufu in China. Confucius left an indelible mark on Chinese philosophy and culture. His teachings, focusing on morality, family values, and social harmony, have resonated through the ages. Many of his descendants are buried in a cemetery there. But his later descendants were among the many Chinese to flee China and move to Taiwan after the Civil War. Like their neighbors in Japan and South Korea, Taiwanese are known to work a lot. In fact, they've ranked as the 4th hardest workers in the world in terms of total hours worked. But the kids in Taiwan are working especially long. It has also been reported that Taiwanese students spend more hours at school than any others in the world, with an average of 9.5 hours at school. And this is not even counting the many additional hours they spend at cram schools, tutoring sessions, and other classes. In 2022, the Human Freedom Index rated Taiwan as the freest country in Asia and 14th in the world, trailing just behind Canada. Some similar ratings include most democratic country in Asia as designated by the Economist Intelligence Unit, freest press in Asia, sixth in the world in terms of economic freedom, largest pride parade in Asia, and the first, and still only, country in Asia to legalize equal marriage rights. Time magazine has named Tsai Ing-wen, Taiwan's current president, one of the world's most influential people, while Forbes has called her one of the most powerful women and the #2 female politician in the world. Yonghe district of New Taipei City ranks as one of the most crowded urban centers in the world. It has a population density of around 38,000 people per square kilometer. To put that in perspective, Manhattan, also considered one of the most crowded places, has 28,000 people per square kilometer, or 10,000 less than Yonghe. From 1895 to 1945, the Japanese occupied Taiwan. The Japanese kept busy during their time there. They built a railway line around the country, developed the country's hot springs, and they built hospitals and universities, including Taihoku Imperial University, today's NTU, the country's top school. Japanese influence can still be seen throughout Taiwan, from Shinto shrines and major buildings still in use, including the Presidential Palace, to Japanese cuisine and words that have been incorporated into the Taiwanese language. Taiwan's 4 official languages are Taiwanese, also called Taiyu, Hokkien, Halo, or Minnan, Mandarin, Hakka, and the Formosan Aboriginal languages collectively. Notably, English is not one of them. The country talks about becoming a Chinese-English bilingual country by 2030, but many people have doubts about this. If you ride the Taipei MRT, you will hear announcements in 5 languages, which don't exactly match the official languages. They are Taiwanese, Mandarin, Hakka, English, and Japanese. We all rely on Taiwan for our digital devices. Taiwan is the world's top producer of semiconductors, 65%, and advanced computer chips, 95%. These are crucial items in smartphones, computers, cars, and various other digital devices. One Taiwanese company alone, TSMC, handles a staggering 55% of global chip fabrication contracts. These chips are the most traded product in the world, ahead of oil. According to Time, this makes Taiwan the center of the world. This is a big change from the 1980s, when Taiwan was known around the world for the Made in Taiwan label on a wide range of small, cheap items that it produced. After the Republic of China lost in the Civil War to the Chinese Communist Party, its leaders and millions of people fled to Taiwan, from where they planned to take back China. That never happened, so Taiwan is still officially called the Republic of China today. The UN stopped recognizing the Republic of China as the legitimate rulers of Taiwan in 1971, and the US followed in 1979. China now claims that Taiwan is one of its provinces, which most Taiwanese people disagree with. China blocks Taiwan from entering international organizations and forces it to compete as Chinese Taipei in the Olympics. Currently, Taiwan only has 11 countries and Vatican City official diplomatic applies. Most of them are small island nations. New passports released from 2021 now say Taiwan in large letters. Republic of China is still there, but in much smaller font. Taipei 101 is the world's tallest green building. Although Taipei 101 is no longer the world's tallest building after 2009, it still claims the title to world's tallest green building. That doesn't mean its color is green, but that would be cool, since it was modeled on a bamboo stalk. Taipei 101 is considered environmentally friendly. This includes low CO2 output and electricity usage. Its status was designated by Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, the organization that labels buildings as green in the U.S. Other titles held by Taipei 101 include the world's third fastest elevator, 61 kilometers per hour, world's heaviest damper, 738 tons, and a giant swinging ball of steel that prevents the building from toppling in earthquakes. The calendar most commonly used in Taiwan is the Republic of China calendar. According to this calendar, year 0 is 1912, the date of the founding of the Republic of China. So to find the current year, you need to subtract 1911. For example, 2024 is year 113.